A
A
never
never
ending
ending
story.
story.
Listen carefully
Listen carefully
and read with me.
and read with me.
लक्ष देऊन ऐका
लक्ष देऊन ऐका
आणि माझ्याबरोबर वाचा.
आणि माझ्याबरोबर वाचा.
Once there was
Once there was
a king.
a king.
He loved
He loved
stories.
story.
Tell me a story.
Tell me a story.
He said
He said
all the time.
all the time.
At the end of
At the end of
the story,
the story,
he said,
he said,
and then
and then
what happened next?
what happened?
Nothing.
Nothing.
This is the end,
This is the end,
said the
said the
storyteller.
storyteller.
Tell me
Tell me
a story
a story
that has
that has
no end.
no end.
I want a
I want a
never ending story.
never in the story.
The story
The story
teller
teller
thought and thought.
thought and thought.
All his stories
All his story
had an end.
had an end.
He
He
could not think
could not think
of
of
a
a
never ending story.
never in the story.
Then he had
Then he had
a bright idea.
a bright idea.
He began to
He began to
tell a
tell a
new story.
new story.
Once there was
Once there was
a king.
a king.
He lived in
He lived in
a big palace.
a big palace.
The palace
The palace
had a
had a
big kitchen
big kitchen
and a
and a
big storehouse.
big storehouse.
There were
There were
big heaps
big heaps
of grain
of grain
in the storehouse.
in the storehouse.
There was
There was
a hole
a hole
in the wall
in the wall
of
of
the storehouse.
the store.
A little sparrow
A little sparrow
saw the hole
saw the hole
and swiftly
and swiftly
flew inside
flew inside
the storehouse.
the storehouse.
Then she picked
Then she picked
a grain
a grain
and flew away.
and flew away.
What happened next?
What happened next?
Said the king.
Said the king.
Then
Then
another
another
sparrow
sparrow
saw the hole,
saw the hole,
flew in,
flew in,
picked a grain
picked a grain,
and flew away.
and flew away.
Oh,
Oh,
and then
and then
what happened next?
what happened next?
Then
Then
a third sparrow
a third sparrow
saw the hole,
saw the hole,
flew in,
flew in,
picked a grain
picked a grain,
and flew away.
and flew away.
And then a fourth sparrow
then a sparrow
saw the hole.
saw the hole.
The story went
The story went
on and on
and on and
like this.
like this.
Even now,
Even now,
the storyteller
the storyteller
is telling
is telling
the king
the king
this story
this story
about
about
the grains
the grain
and the sparrows.
and the sparrow.
If you don't
If you don't
believe me,
believe me,
You can go
You can go
there
there
and
and
see for yourself.
see for yourself.